Welcome to the table on the tap. My name is Patrick. I'm gonna be your host. We're hanging around and waiting for uh, Burger King, apparently. Um, Waiting for the rest of our companions to join us this evening. We are waiting to find out if we're gonna have a David or not. I haven't heard from him just yet, but in a few moments we're gonna go ahead and endeavor forward without him, if that is what we need. Um, in the meantime, tonight we're getting ready to play some D&D. And so, because of that, I brought along some friends. Let's go ahead and go around the table, virtual table, introduce ourselves. Um, to my right, or below me, depending on where you look at, is Matt. Matt, why don't you tell us a little about yourself, a little about the character you'll be playing tonight?
I am Matthew. I am one of these said friends that enjoys playing D&D as a preferred pastime. Tonight I am playing a Lucius uh, warlock with a Ifrit, fire Ifrit patron. Lucius has been, as we've been going along with the story, he's been trying to find a path that has led him kind of in between the the hero trying to help everyone thing whilst also trying to do what he thinks is best for him. And in some points it's kind of colliding. And he's got a kind of dilemma going on right now from between a what he believes would benefit the our beloved town of Red Clover Fields, and what task was bestowed upon him by his patron. So he's got some internal conflict and some decisions to try and make. So that's what Lucius is dealing with.
Thank you for that, Matt. I'm actually very intrigued with the internal conflict that your character actually has going on, and to see it come to fruition this evening will be interesting. Now, then, continuing on, we have Andrew. Andrew wants to tell us a little about yourself, and please a little bit about your character you were playing tonight.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and I play the character Alistair, the fighter. Hopefully, um, hopefully my character finds out a little bit more about himself, and maybe kill a hag or two.
Yeah, your character has an interesting character arc as well, as you are in the family lineage, essentially, that would tie you to um, a god of paladins, essentially, in the world. Essentially, your family heritage ties you to directly to Pixius, the god of good, the son and of paladins in the world, which is interesting. Uh, Very interesting. Um, and now then, continuing on, we have Amanda. Amanda, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the character you'll be playing?
Hello, my name is Amanda, and I am going to be playing a character. She is a Kalish Star, and her class is Druid with the Circle of the Moon. Her name is Gaia. She's currently attempting basically kind of world peace between nature and the modern world. I guess you would say. Um, my
Hold on.
plan was to go.
It sounds like
Yeah,
you're
that's my bad.
reverberating through Matt's headset. Matt, can you mute yourself while she's talking?
Yeah, that's my bad. I forgot.
Continue, please.
But She's on her way to try to fix the issues of pollution and try and figure out a way that people as they are now can like this with nature basically. And my mission is trying to get them to not go past the stream at the current moment. Or at least try to finagle a way for them to agree to not go past that river.
Yes, very interesting. And continuing on, we have Curtis, or Ninja Monkey. Ninja Monkey FPV. He's actually a professional drone pilot. That's my little brother, yo. Why don't you tell us a little about yourself and a little about the character you're playing tonight?
Well, like you said, well, not really professional, but I am a team pilot for 2 different teams for drone flying and stuff. That's my other hobby besides D&D. Been doing that since 2017. One of my favorite hobbies to do besides D&D, like I said. And tonight I'm playing Kythos, the resident monk and wizard. I mean, got 1 level in wizard, but 4 levels in monk. So I'm a hand-to-hand combat specialist, I guess, and kind of pincushion for the group sometimes.
Sometimes it ends up that way.
Yep.
Well, as we are waiting to see, I know that Chris is trying to get the ever sought after anniversary pay from Olive Garden, which is a tradition that they carry on to this day, which is a great company tradition. Of course, you have to have a certain amount of hours put in order to have that happen. And so he's trying to get those hours in the night. Would anyone be willing to drag Alia to this evening's festivities to make sure that in case he does not appear this evening, he is still able to get on the proverbial bus?
What class is Alia again?
He is playing a half drow ranger.
I should let me see if I have his character pulled up. It shouldn't be too bad if we can.
All else fails, just drop back and throw arrows or
Right.
fireball.
Like I said, it should be fine. I should be able to. But I can't recall all of his pets, so if we can just kind of assume that his pets are around, then I am down for taking over.
Yeah, I'll worry about his pets for you. Last session they were vacant. They were never mentioned, so I didn't mention them. So that's just kind of how that goes. If you don't mention them, I don't worry. After all, they are all a bunch of critters that could easily go and disappear. One's a giant spider. One is a squirrel. I think the other one's is actually a conjuration. I think he only has the 2 actual pets, I believe. Am I wrong about that?
I'm pretty sure you're right about that.
Yeah, I think it's the spider. I don't know if the squirrel is it or not, but I know he's got a.
Oh, he has a
familiar.
squirrel. He's had a squirrel this whole time. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure if the squirrel's a familiar or an actual pet.
A bit of both. It's a friend. In fact, if you go to our Discord pics and stuff, I believe Curtis provided a very intriguing picture of Ruby being ridden by the squirrel. It's just really clever and very cute. But at any rate, now that that's settled up, I'm actually still laboring over the allergies and stuff like that. And so I'm just kind of, I don't know, just trying to stay out of my room, whatever. I like the fresh air. If that makes any sense. So I'm just going to be chilling outside tonight, but I've got everything running in the room. If so happens that we have a internet connection failure, I'll go and deal with that. But can I ask you guys to help me out this evening and just monitor Twitch and YouTube to make sure that if anyone does appear in the chats, go ahead and greet them and let them know that, whatever, and we'll try to make an endeavor to include them. We don't want to ignore them. I often find out that someone's in the chats or had been, being like, "Oh, that was cool," or whatever, or asking a question, and I never realize they're there, and nobody else realizes they're there, and it's like, "Oh, my bad," So it was a opportunity for us to get a new follower or subscriber. But tonight we are actually, for the first time ever, playing D&D live on Twitch and YouTube simultaneously, courtesy of Streamlabs. I have a promo code that I will provide if anyone is interested in actually joining Streamlabs. I need to do that. I did not actually have one. You could say that the Table in the Tavern is essentially a real company, as I had to register through PayPal as a company in order to actually receive any payments from Streamlabs. So, haha, one step
Aha.
closer. So, with that, does anyone remember what happened the last time we played? Now, I recall something about some witches in the woods and some manticores.
I am fairly certain that we shortly after our encounter with the fire elementals and the introduction of a new companion by the name of Tamir Spiderhide, when we continued travel back to Red Clover Fields, we ran into some disturbing laughter in the woods.
Pardon me.
I believe Elia went to investigate said laughter and then was warned about potential danger from our very own druid, Gaia, since she has encountered the laughter before. And when Elia heeded said warning, we were set upon by a manticore, and a few of us fired a barrage of attacks at this manticore, only to find out that that one was an illusion. And when two more appeared, I know Lucius thought there was potential to be those illusions as well, but it turned out that they were actually real, and we had a pretty heavy fight on our side, which almost led to the end of Lucius. Actually, it was after fighting two manticores for a little bit, a hag or some kind of witch showed up in the woods and was also fighting. I think Alistair was the one that went toe to toe with her, if I'm not mistaken. But once the manticores were finally felled, the hag witch ended up running off into the woods, escaping our grasp. I think that's about where we left off after everyone mercilessly hacking away at the manticore body, salvaging for parts.
That
was
was a very good recap. Thank you for that. If anyone has anything to add, by all means, but I do like to go ahead and welcome David or Nobody Home. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Hey,
Sorry, I'm late. I was just finishing up dinner.
Of
welcome
course.
to the table.
And we were just finishing up a recap, but before that, introductions were being made. And this is David. David, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the character you're going to be playing in it?
Good evening, folks. You can call me Nobody or David, doesn't matter. Um, really can't say much about myself at this point, but tonight I am playing Mercenary Gunslinger Tamir Spiderhide. Did you get that?
Thank you for that, David. I appreciate
Okay.
it. Now then, we were actually just finishing up a recap for what happened the last time we played. Did anyone have anything to add to that?
I think I did a rather good job.
All right, thank you. And so, I believe you guys had maybe taken a little bit of a rest after the fight with the Manticore. After all, you guys did stay around to harvest their remains. So, rest, I believe, was had. So, you guys are probably going to be breaking camp and making your way back. But who am I to say? What would you like to do?
Are we counting it as a short rest or long rest?
I will leave that to you. If you would like to take a long rest, you may. We will go through those woes, as it were, or we can go ahead and say a short rest was had while harvesting the remains and stuff like that. And that is up to you.
I think Lucius will pitch to the party that we might need to do a long rest and sit and catch our breath. We did have two pretty intense combats today, and I'm sure we're all getting pretty exhausted.
I was just going to say that there has been a couple of us that have gotten pretty banged up, so a long rest would be beneficial to everyone. I mean, that would also give us enough time to harvest everything that we wanted to, without being rushed per se.
All right, so let's find a nice place to set up camp. Would somebody care to help me out with a survival check? If they are getting assistance by somebody in the party or the party as a whole actively engaging in it, I will allow that check to be made with advantage.
I'll make the roll. Anybody want to give me a hand?
Lucius will give you a hand. I have a bit of wisdom to me.
I can help too.
So that is a 23.
Despite all odds and the hostile conditions before you, with ash and smoke and lingering in the air, and of course the ever-present threat of fire, you find a nice place next to the river. So you have water and a nice low point where you can access it easily. There is actively fish and so forth, so a good place to source some food and get some fresh water in a nice clearing that is concealed to the road. So there are trees between you and the road, concealing your. It's all things good.
Do we have a way to catch fish, or am I going to Eldritch Blast them? Just kidding. We'll ration it up. We do need to get going. Hurry up and go to the town. So I don't think we have time for all that.
I mean, I got a rapier and a whip. I can hit fish.
Well, if you have a long rest, you have 8 hours. So, and I'm buying time for Chris to get here, and we have a full
Oh, okay.
So we will be endeavoring through a long rest, and hopefully you guys will obtain one. I hope that no one has clicked a long rest just yet, because that has not been achieved.
Oh no. That's not foreboding at all.
I'm scared.
So,
Emotional damage.
these are the fun things about travel. You see, I was just telling some people that I was talking about with earlier these past few weeks that in games where we are adventuring through the wilderness, well, the wilderness essentially becomes my dungeon. So, wandering monsters afoot, but nothing intended here, of course. I'd never do anything like that to you. So you guys do endeavor to set up a camp near the water. You guys were discussing whether or not you guys actually had the means to catch some fish. Do you guys want to do that?
We
Sure.
can.
I don't think I've ever role played that. I don't have anything to catch fish with, but I am not against trying to Eldritch Blast fish. I don't
You could
think
have you'd have Ruby spin some spider silk to make a
and that
fishing line and use a stick for a pole.
I got my quarterstaff to use as a stick.
That works too. I've got a spear, so
can
It,
I have
sounds like it sounds like you have an eager number of companions that are willing to help you catch some fish.
I have a question for you, DM.
Yeah.
Shape water cantrip.
Okay.
Can I splash like change the flow of water and just like make the fish wash up to shore?
Can you just like you talking about like just like almost like throwing some dynamite in the water and making like boom and seeing if the repercussions cause some fish to float up to the
No,
surface?
I have shape water. I can
So
move
you
or
want to
change the flow of water.
keep water away from the fish entirely instead of doing that.
So like I would like move the water that they're swimming in to
Uh-huh.
just
are
like
you trying to
on
pull a
on
Moses?
and try to
So you
move
can
them
remove
onto
the
shore.
water. Yes. You know what's going to happen. The water, put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. Put water into a bowl, it becomes the bowl. It's just going to, you're going to pick up, move that water, and you're going to have that water. But that water is just going to flow the same way. So the pocket of water that you created will go away. Yes, you may have some flopping fish, and perhaps it is possible to even have some fish within the water. However, the fish are not confined to that water. They could swim
no.
out,
Yeah,
jump out.
I just kind of want to like wash them up onto the shore.
I believe something like that is possible. What I will do is I'll turn into a fun little mini game.
Hey, I like mini games.
Okay.
I think.
All right. So that what you want to do is do some create water and do some basically avatar stuff when you basically bend water and move some of the water from the water source to the shore. Is that what you're wanting to do?
Yeah, if it'll help, I can also kind of, depending on how big is this body of water.
Well, first thing you're going to need is you're going to need fish, right?
Right.
So let's go ahead and start with that. So you're going to go ahead and make me a perception check to actually locate some fish uh, in the water, or you're able to do maybe a nature check if that will help you to perhaps
Um,
find a favorable place to locate some fish.
My perception check landed at a 12.
Okay. Well, you're looking out into the water, and the river is mighty and flowing. And there is a bit of still water in the location that David and you actually found. But there's no actual fish that you could say are right there in that little pool. Nothing worth gloating about. A few minnows, perhaps.
Gotcha. Well, I will keep searching, but if there's someone else here that wants to give it a shot, I don't see anything worth a meal though.
I could
But
try.
while he's trying to do his like magic thing, I'm going to take my whip and my rifle and my tinker tools and jury rig the whip as my fishing line and the rifle as my pole, and use some of my rations to make bait. And I'm going to go fishing with that.
So you're making a makeshift harpoon slash old man at sea.
Not a harpoon. I'm basically tying the whip to the barrel.
Yeah.
The whip is the line. And I'm using the rifle to cast.
Oh, there's no firearms involved.
No, I'm using the gun as my...
Yes, I understand. Yes, I like that. Okay. So you go ahead and how well you can secure some bait to this whip.
Okay.
I'll allow you to maybe make a what would this really be? Normally I'd want to say like a tinker check, but you're not really that guy. But let's say make me a nature check
Nature? Okay.
or survival.
That's survival.
Let's do survival.
That doesn't look right.
I can
The
assist
die
him.
came up before, because it said a 14 on the die, but the result came out as a 13.
Yeah, I've seen some of that happen when I go to click on my die, and somehow I end up double clicking it, and it like rolls twice. It's weird. But
Yeah, because what it says my roll is a total of a 13, but based on what the die actually came up with, it'd be a 21.
okay. Hold on one second. My dog's out there barking at the darkness. Yeah. All right. So you you secure your bait the best you can and cast it out. And you wait for a while to see if you catch a fish. What I'm going to ask you to do is go ahead and roll me a percentile.
That is an 18.
18. Well, unfortunately, you do endeavor for a while to leave the lure out there, but when you finally do pull it back in, your bait is gone. Unfortunately, there's no fish to be had. Do you see how this works? Is you set the DC at a 14 or 13, for that may have been. So when you roll percentile, roll under that. That's the same way we're going to do with you over there, big guy, Lucius. So with the little water thing, what you're doing to create water, right?
No.
So you're gonna go ahead and try to see if you
Shape,
could
it's
uh,
shape water.
shape water. Shape water. That's right. So we'll go ahead and give you an opportunity to, I don't know, do me a nature check, okay, or a survival check, or even, yeah, I'll let you do either one to give yourself an opportunity to maybe catch a fish. The same way that I offered David to possibly catch a fish.
Nah, that'd
With
be
James being the ultimate thing.
an 8.
There's a well, you know what you need to do now. Roll a percentage, an 8 or below, success.
Rolling. That would be a 36.
36 now. Would you like to give it a try?
I'll give it a try.
Okay, so you're gonna roll either a survival, a what either or to attempt to catch fish. Okay, setting a DC for yourself to roll a percentage and see if you do.
Yep, I got a 10.
Okay, so now let's roll a percentage. You have a 10% chance to catch fish.
Do I have to roll both the die or just the one?
Well, you gotta get you got 2d10. One will have dual face. You'll have a number and 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, and then you'll have another die. It'll be 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 10. Both. Roll them simultaneously. Tell me the result. Or just on your character sheet thing, little icon with the 2 d10s, it'll just do the percentage for you.
Where's that icon at again?
Okay, so if you open up the individual dice on D&D Beyond, okay, it
Yeah.
should be down corner of your bottom corner of your page. Okay, you're going to select all the dice there. Okay, and then I'll put up with an array of dice that you can choose from.
Yeah.
On those dice, you're going to see one selection that has 2 dice next to each other. It says a
Yeah.
D1. You're going to select that and roll it.
Damn it, got 92.
All right. So unfortunately, unfortunately, no, there was no fish to be had. Would anyone else like to give this a try? I'll even let you try again if you
I'll do it.
Sure, why not? What was it? A nature?
I
want. You can roll on nature or survival in whatever clever fashion that you describe. Okay, and then based on the outcome of your nature survival check, that'll become the DC to roll against with your percentage. You have to roll that number or lower to have success.
Right. So I'm gonna take
I got a 21, Pat.
All right. So then
oh
roll a percentage and see if you get a 21 or lower. All right. I think this is the best opportunity yet. So
I'm gonna take that manicore tail spike that I have and fashion it up, use some of my hip rope, take a strand out of a rope.
17.
huzzah! So what clever fashion are you deciding to use to catch your fish?
Say that part again.
What clever use of tools are you putting together to catch your fish, or what way are you doing so?
Whatever the simplest way would be, I guess. Just
Wading out in the water and seeing if you can just catch one.
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen
Uh,
that done. Just throw it
uh,
up on the floor.
Yeah.
So,
Hold on. Before anything, let me see what I questions. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much that.
so you wade out into the pool of the water. It is low, and you get out into the current a little bit and down where you can still walk. And you wait patiently while a school of fish may pass nearby. And as one comes close enough, you throw the water, as it were, to shore. And huzzah, roll me a d4.
Who needs to roll you a d4?
Andrew, yeah, Andrew can roll me a d4. And,
D4. I could find my D4. And I want to just do this. A 4.
okay, really? Okay, well, the luckiest man ever tonight. Huzzah, when you throw the water up, you collect 5 fish. 1 plus 1, 4 fish. Probably the best success possible. I think you fed the entire camp with 1 lucky strike. But, Curtis, let's see what happens with this match quartet. So you use it in a fashion to try to catch some fish. Roll me a survival or nature.
Yeah, I was attaching it to a basically to make a spear, like harpoon spear.
I like that.
But I rolled a 9 for survival.
Okay, so you're gonna roll percentage to see if you can roll lower.
48.
Well, at least that was on our side, and eventually it did come out in our favor. So five fish. How many of you is there?
5 right now. 6 with
That's
Alien.
looks like someone's going without fish. Or you guys just want to maybe throw it all up in one pot and make a fish stew, and then everyone can have some.
Fish stew.
There you go. So, let me get a survival or nature check from anyone to help maybe forage nearby to find maybe some nice herbs or roots or even other wild vegetables that you might end up finding to add to your fish soup.
Guy is going to try.
For a ranger, Alia doesn't have as good of nature or survival as I was expecting.
He didn't make a ranger, he made an archer that throws fireball.
Gaia rolled a 13 for survival.
All right. Okay. You managed to find some garlic.
Ooh, yum.
As you're walking around, you can start our wild garlic and maybe some wild onion, say. So you find that and bring it back to camp. The aromatic nature of the ingredients helps you definitely make the meal feel homey.
I rolled a 14 for nature, looking for like maybe some sweet potatoes or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. We'll say that you find some plantains, some rooted vegetables, as it were, and they'll of course cook up nicely with the fish and the stew. Anyone else? Maybe. I think you guys have a pretty good meal ahead of you, so you guys get to cooking maybe. Um, who is going to prepare these fish? You caught them, Alistair. It technically would be your
I was
duty.
gonna say I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and cook them.
All right. Uh, allow me to ask you to make me a survival check.
12.
Uh, you do end up getting getting all the fish cleaned and prepared and thrown into the stew, as it were. Um, it does take some time, and you're not really used to doing this sort of thing, so there is a little bit of waste. But you do end up getting a nice pot of boiling fish going, and then of course um, our return of Gaia with her wild garlic and her onion. Uh, will you indulge me in a survival check to add to the stew?
Let me do that.
Yes.
I got 21.
Okay. So yes, you managed to prepare up the garlic and the wild onion, um, and add it to the stew. The aroma does, of course, endeavor to make it very palatable, very delicious. What about you there, Curtis? You bring back your plantains. Would you like to roll me a survival check?
Yeah, I want to say. 18.
18. Okay. So you prepare your plantains, cleaning them and chopping them up and adding them to the stew. Um, and yes, after, let's say, uh, someone give me a D4 of a roll.
I got your D4.
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
All right. This is a good time to roll low. The piping hot fire, stoking the water, the pot, uh, allows the plantains to cook up nicely with the fish and so forth. And and in about 10 minutes or so, you have a nice stew that is ready to go. Um, the aroma, of course, is quite fetching, and this fall cool air, the aromatic incandescence fills the camp and, of course, the woods beyond. Night time begins to fall upon you as you guys enjoy your meal. Um, is there going to be a watch for this evening?
I'll go first.
Okay. Okay. You're gonna go first, you say?
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of our companions are going to catch a rest evening. Is that correct?
Yes.
Inside actually, and so David, as the party all winds down after eating, and you guys pull the pot off to start to cool. You stay up while everyone else begins to bed down.
Gives me a
Good
nice
night.
time to clean my guns.
Yes. Okay. So yes, that's right. Right. A gunslinger. Give me one moment. I'm gonna head back to work. All right. Sorry about that. And bring on continuing forward. Uh, David.
Yes.
All right. All right. We are to begin our duty as everyone else for the evening. Let me ask you to go ahead and give me a perception check.
All of
Just David at this time. Everyone else is not David, our uh, hmm, David begins to start his guard detail for the.
11.
I'm
It's dark out. I can't see
I'm on a
anything.
different computer. Um, it's having a little bit of difficulty keeping up with series with the Discord. Yes. I may need to make sure I have my boosts activated for Discord. Is give me 1 second. Let me check something real quick. I'm not going to do that right now. Appears I lost my level 2. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Reason why it's acting funny. I don't want to do that. Okay. All right. There we go. I don't know why I was acting weird. My just was acting a little bit funny. Still is a little bit glitchy. Okay. I'll check into that. David,
Yes.
you begin your watch. Go ahead and did you roll me a perception check?
Yes, I rolled an 11.
11. Okay.
So my justification is it's dark. I can't see much. I don't have low
Right.
light vision like a couple of people in this party do, or dark vision like a couple of people in this party do.
Right. I'm gonna check some real quick. Right. Check some. Okay. Yes. Go ahead. Dark. There we go. Okay. Weird. So as you're watching there throughout the evening, cleaning your guns, you don't notice until someone starts speaking from behind you. Well, you made this rather homey, haven't you? And
So
as you turn up to see um, a dark figure looking down at you. He's leaning up against a tree, full plate armor. He is a drow, a drow fighter. You probably have never seen this particular person before, as you haven't been with the party that long.
no. So yeah, when I do spin around, I'm going to draw down on him with my pepper box. It's like you got it. You got exactly 5 seconds just to change my mind as to why I shouldn't blow a hole in you now.
Hmm. Calm down. My name's Bill. I'm from town. I'm a friend of the companions.
So you say.
If you don't believe me, perhaps you should rouse them.
So I'll go over to Kai, lightly kick him in the ribs to wake him up.
Oh, what game?
You know this guy?
I'm gonna roll over and look.
It is Nilvin. You recognize him as one of the Dark Elf warriors that was uh, brought here with Lady Eliza that had come from Chimera.
So I'll put the hammer back and put the gun in the holster.
He ends up straight and walks into your camp and makes his way over near the fire into the center of your camp. If you don't mind, I'd like to have a word with you about something. But it's best if you all come close.
Is it 2:08 right now?
It is.
Okay.
But some of you may be stirred awake to the sounds of of talking in the camp. We'll say that that your party is alerted to the presence of an intruder or the presence of someone else. He does ask you guys to uh, huddle up around because he says that there may be prying eyes. And he offers some protection from that. He says that is very important from this day on.
It,
Closer or not,
Why are you so insistent that we come closer? We don't know who you are.
I
you
think
do
we
not
can.
know, but I know who you are. Endeavor to do. If you do not trust me, I understand. Know that I am the author of that note. I am in.
Well, this is in Alia's wheelhouse. I think she's the one that received the note, wasn't she? Um, can you let me see if I got a note on that. I don't exactly remember what the thing said.
That is true. It said, do not trust her. Simply that. Signed in.
We don't know who her is.
No. But then, maybe you.
Did you say this guy came in from with Alyssa?
Yes.
Eliza.
He came with from Chimera.
Okay, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I would like to correct it in my notes if I am wrong. In my notes, I have Eliza being the old adventurer that runs the inn, and Alyssa being a noble, the noble lady that showed up.
It is the noble, in fact. Yes. He endeavors with the noble named Eliza. Then. I'll have to check my notes to make sure that's correct. I believe it is. And I believe Alyssa was the innkeeper.
Okay, I can.
Too many A's and E's.
Yes, I know it's a lot. I know.
Okay. Just wanted to clear that up.
Alia, Alistair, Eliza, Alyssa.
And yeah. So I believe Alia was pretty open about with the party with what the note said and that she got it and everything. So did he confirm that he did say he's the one that gave the note.
We'll
I
say that Alia produces the note, okay, and shows it to you all. And we'll say Alia takes the first step forward, okay, does as well, okay, and he, of course, says, "See, I don't bite."
so what yeah, I'll join in.
Since this is like that group, I'm just kind of gonna stay over my spot and finish cleaning my rifle.
Okay,
Because this feels like
that's
it's
fine.
need to. Because this feels like it's like their need to know, and I don't need to know.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, doing the wrong thing. Sorry. Here we go.
So at the moment, I'm just here to get them
So
back into town.
He grabs a bag. My camera's getting wacky now. My computer's working overtime. I have to do both. We'll see if I continue to do both at the same time, or if I do it on. I made it. He produces a bag, a number of rings. Okay, a number of rings equal to the number of party members that you have present currently. Okay, being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7 being Alia and Chad. Okay, he offers each of you a ring. After each of you take one, do you take one?
I
Uh,
do.
Yeah.
Um, forgive me for maybe appearing untrustworthy, but do you mind if I go ahead and do a little identification of said ring?
By all means, it is yours from now on.
Um, Really understand adventurers, people who do what we do don't have a little bit of caution in our lives.
This this ring will protect you from scrying eyes. Says you will need it from now on, with what you endeavor to do. I have been keeping an eye on you. It's not hard, you know. You guys know little about the arcane arts, don't you?
Uh,
What?
Exactly. He walks over to you, David, okay, with a ring, hands it to you. He says, "You're in this now too, whether you want it or not, just by association. Just know that any prying eye on anyone is a danger to everyone."
um, will he humor me long enough for me to cast detect magic and or identify on it to see if
Yes.
soothe any kind of second guesses that are coming?
Find that it is actually, in fact, a ring of protection from scrying.
Um, then once I figure this out, I will go ahead and um, confirm with those in my group that he is in fact telling the truth, and what he presents us is what it appears to be. And as a show of that, I will go ahead and place the ring onto my finger.
He says, "What I'm about to tell you, you may not believe, just like you did not believe me to be friend. And perhaps I am not a friend, but could be." How I mean so, sorry, my phone is messing up. I'm a little bit distracted. I apologize. Um, she would use this opportunity to be a great hero, to slay a great evil that threatens all of man, or at least this small town, in fact, in order to be heralded as a hero. With what you plan to endeavor to bring the druids to do what they will, if they will steal that spotlight from her, making you forever a target, or at least her eyes cast upon you. Now I implore you, from what I have known, in the short time I've been watching you.
So you're saying that this this queen lady, she's she's orchestrating this thing popping this just so she can beat it and look good in everybody's eyes.
Again,
Again.
oh yes, because once you rely upon her to protect you from this ever-present evil that will forever be threatening the world of man, well, then she wins.
So you're saying that one individual orchestrated this town to be besieged, I guess you could say in a way, by some kind of volcano from a different dimension, and it's just one regular person that did all this.
No, not one person. No normal person. A person of great power. A divination wizard of great evil. A lich. An undead servant of darkness from the Shadowfell, whose eyes will be coming upon you once you succeed in what to do. That is what I'm saying.
Oh,
So if what you're saying is true, how if they have such power or abilities, what are we you know to how are we supposed to even try to stop this from happening? I mean, it
And
just seems like we're trying to push a mountain.
indeed,
Or in this case, I guess a volcano that flies.
to push a mountain takes great strength. Just being aware and protecting yourself. That's what I offer. And if in time you seek aid to fight against this great evil, I am trying to rally those to that cause. I could use your help. I come to you now only to offer you what protection I can. I wish you well. Of course, I was never here. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. I, of course, am in Olane as we speak, he says.
Wait, you're what?
You know
Saying-
little about magic, do you? You have so much to
Oh, so you're not even here talking to us.
Oh, I'm here. I'm just saying that I was never here. Don't ever tell anyone. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
okay,
So
I
he's
think I'm
never
picking up.
here.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting.
Everyone knows that he's in Olane currently. He's
I got
currently in Olane as known. Nobody knows that he is currently here talking to you right now.
I thought you were
He
talking for a second there. I thought you were saying like he was a hologram or like some kind of projection. I'm like, what?
No, because then he couldn't give the rings to you. He says there are certain gifts even I can't give to you like that. But perhaps if you seek the knowledge of our king, you will learn to be able to move through time and space as easily as he snaps his finger. There are some things, he says, looking down at the gunslinger's uh, mechanical weapons, that even technology cannot achieve.
I'm down for that. That sounds like up my alley anyway.
You will need great magical power, or at least great powers, in order to oppose something of this magnitude. Um, but I believe, he says as he looks down to Gaia, I believe that you have some very powerful allies already.
Yes.
And it is those very allies that will make you a threat to her.
This
I
this
hope you
sounds
understand. I hope you understand what I'm trying to explain to you. I don't want there to be any confusion.
there might be. I mean, this sounds like someone who I don't want, for them to see me as any kind of threat. This sounds like something that is, be avoided.
She continues to press her endeavors throughout the world. She is a politician, first and foremost. She comes at you with smile. She comes at you with offerings that you would never deny yourself. She knows what you lust for because she knows what's in your heart, because she sees into your mind and she sees your secrets, and she uses them against you in order to get what she desires. And what she desires is to be in control of everything. And to be in control of everything, you must make everyone afraid of the same thing and seek you for its protection, for protection from it. That's what she endeavors. She's basically putting on a great show. And yes, laying waste to thousands of lives in the process, just to simply become the man on top. But she, even she, has great enemies. After all, she is She's been doing it for some time.
So,
Not
how
exactly
do you?
this, but yes.
How
Sorry.
is it that you're sorry, but how is it that you're privy to all this information and still upright, breathing, and talking?
Says that's an interesting question. One I find very difficult to answer, as the reason why I'm where I am is solemn even to me. I cannot divulge that. Know that I represent someone that would oppose her. You could call me a agent, as it were. And I'm offered certain protections myself from even her guises.
So what you're saying is, so what I'm gathering is there is a powerful wizard lady that can basically see into the future and has enough power to, bring about calamity. And you are here to what? Recruit us against her?
Don't forget undead wizard lady.
Yes, because that makes things better.
All I offer you is protection for now. And if you seek me, know that I am in Elaine. Come to Elaine and seek me there. Uh, I will help you. When this is all over and done with, of course. Looks back down to Gaia. Says, you've set in place something even she did not foresee.
I think at this point, everyone's going to look at her.
One more time.
I said, Nilvin looks at you, Gaia. It says, you set in place something even she could not foresee.
Oh, is that right?
What did you do?
And what would that have been?
There's a dragon in red fields.
I
There's a what now?
a dragon in red clover fields. So you're telling me she wasn't aware of the dragon?
I haven't told her. I am
So,
charged. I was charged with keeping an eye on you.
On me?
On all of you. And in doing so, I have seen what you are about to unfurl, even if you cannot. I
What are you gonna want in
can only
return?
protect you for so long. Keep those rings close to you. If you have any questions for me, this would be the time. Otherwise, Ta-ta.
You got it.
Of course, where Matt fails, she has other agents. Agents of the black. And these agents, well, not all of them rely upon magic. Most rely upon shadows. And they too
Mm.
hide behind smiling faces.
You wouldn't be talking about night hags, would you?
No, but yeah, those are bad too. Very bad. You guys aren't caught up. Yeah, you guys are caught up with night hacks, aren't you? Well,
Unfortunately.
No.
he says, maybe, maybe I'll prove myself to you by finding out what I can about these night hacks. And perhaps when next we meet, we can, yeah. I hope you do the night hacks. How about that?
That
But
sounds
first,
lovely.
you'll have to make your way to Elaine. Make sure you bring the night hags with you.
Oh, I'm sure we won't lose them anytime soon.
You do?
If there's nothing else, though, I'm going to bid you adieu, he says.
Um, one question. What exactly is a lich?
What exactly is a lich, you say? It
Because all
is
you
a.
said,
Mm,
because all you said is this is a really bad undead wizard person.
that is correct. You know what happens when one dies, their soul, depending on what you believe, well, is on to whatever void or whatever afterlife you decide. What a lich is someone that is obsessed with life after death for immortality, who literally pulls their soul, their being, and traps it so it can never to exist for eternity, sucking the life force out of those that still live. Something like that.
Well then, thanks for answering that question.
Of course, when you look upon her, you will see nothing but a beautiful woman, a dark elf, a queen. But know that she is not, she is terrible. And she will make you great offers, like she did with your friend.
How's she roped into all this?
He now
She
travels to Chimeria to meet with her.
she's been anti-magic since I met her.
She made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Oh, do you know Delmont's a girl, right?
Yeah, Delmont's not all what he seemed either, just like Lady Bell. She may not look like a lich, but is. Well, Delmont may look like a girl, but is.
Um, so other than meeting you, where was that?
Pat, you're muted on both.
Oh, sorry, I was muted and I was all talking and stuff. I just want to tell you that it was the greatest description of what I'm about to say, way better than I'm actually about to say. I'm just kidding.
What place was he telling us to go to?
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. So Elaine, it's far
Elaine.
south from here, okay, through the hills, over the rivers, through the woods, to grandmother's house we go. It's a few days travel, south, of course. That's by foot. Catch a boat and be there in a day.
We've got horses too. Oh,
For
the refugees, some will endeavor. They may need your protection. I hear that there's trolls in those hills.
hold on. So you're saying that there's someone traveling to a lane that needs protection?
Refugees.
From Red Clover
Oh.
Fields.
Oh,
They have already begun their evacuation.
and you're saying they're evacuating to a lane?
Yes, it will take a few days travel for them to make their way by foot. Close to a week. I say a few days, but close to a week. It'll be only a couple of days if you're taking, your horseback riding, of course, but not all of them will be riding on horseback. Some will be walking.
Or injured?
Yes. Well, last I knew, there were trolls in those hills. When the king's men came through, they came through on horses. They'll be going back with refugees on foot. They'll need your help.
Okay. I think I can follow what's going on. You were wanting us to go to a lane to meet up with you about
Your
the
excuse is protecting. Your reason for doing so would be to protect the caravan
right to
because there's
protect
trolls in them.
protect the refugees from the trolls on the way to a lane, and using that as a cover to
Travel to a lane to meet me.
right.
Now,
What's in
normally,
Before you do any of this, you have to deal with, well, he looks up in the air in the direction in which, through the cloud of ash and, smoke, you might see a large plateau of fire or a glowing orb of fire high in the sky. But don't worry, like I said, in Red Clover Fields, there's a dragon.
Now, normally with
And I apologize for interrupting you. As I was saying before, the set of things that Gaia has set in motion, I assure you, you will have success. Well, if you have success, I should say.
now, normally, based on everything that you've just laid on us, escorting refugees, going after, trying to stop some kind of world-ending or world-changing events. Normally, I'd be asking for a pretty substantial compensation, but in this case, since I'm associated with these yahoos now, since I got to be looking over my shoulder for an insane undead devil woman wizard, looks like I don't got much of a choice but to help out.
But Curtis is out here with me. Exactly what I said. He says, well, unless you have any more questions for me, I'm going to split, he says.
I do have one more question for you. You actually. I want to. Can you do me a favor, really quick, Patrick, just for my notes above game? Can you spell his name?
Yes, David?
Nilven.
Okay. So Nilvin, what in Elaine that makes you want us to go there to meet you, or is it just that that's where you are?
That's essentially the reason why, is that's where I'm currently stationed.
So there's no like uh anyone there, anyone else there, or like some kind of ally or friend to this cause there other than you?
Well, yes. In fact, like I had said, I have been trying to draw people together for this particular cause.
Are, are we the first ones?
What?
Are we the first? Or how many allies have you brought to the cause? Like a few, a lot?
He smiles. He doesn't say anything. You're just going to have to trust me.
Alrighty then. I think that's all the questions I have. Anyone else?
I'm
So
good.
if that's it, then okay. Um, he he uh he looks at you all. He says, "Well, I wish you luck in your future endeavors. Of course, uh, you're close enough to Red Clover Fields now. You'll probably be back there by afternoon tomorrow. It's not going to be what you think. Like I said, most of it's empty, but you're going to find her there. I know you're going to want to confront her. Just know that she may lash out against you if you ally yourself against her open. Play your cards, keep your secrets, play the game, stay alive." And with he pulls a stone out of a pocket and holds it as it glows bright color red, and he disappears in a flash of light.
That was intense. No- Coming about a harbinger to an apocalypse.
Well,
So to recap, Tamir, just to make sure we all absorb the same information. The noble lady that is currently in Red Clover Fields that came here to apparently try to seek our help is working with a quote powerful what was it? Was it what kind of wizard was she? What's that called? Um what's that word?
Divination.
Divination. So a a really strong divination wizard is planning in some way or fashion to, you know, do things like this. And I'll wave generally to the, you know, doomsday volcano. And we're just supposed to go back to town and pretend like she isn't.
So I kept on telling you, the game hasn't started yet. The game hasn't started. The game hasn't started. The game just started. Now you guys actually know what you're in. Okay? You guys are becoming great heroes in the land. You guys are attracting attention. Great evil that threatens the world. That's what's going on. That's what I've been trying to line out for you. See, it's just a role play session. You guys having a little bit of fun and whatever. I had some other things that I wanted to do tonight. Big climax battle and stuff like that, all this other stuff. But like I said, Chris was trying to get the anniversary things going, and I just didn't want to have it without him here. If that makes any sense. So I decided to make it an information gathering session, despite everything. With that, everyone can level up. Okay? You have met the end of my checkpoint. Checkpoint was no. Uh, so I'll let you know, this is on top of game. What basically going to happen is you are going to have a Final Fantasy version of a final boss fight top of that plateau. You guys prepared for something like that? Don't worry, you're going to have plenty of help.
Yeah. I would love that. I do have a question / favor. If you want me to wait, I can. But during our long rest period, do you think Alia would let Lucius, or can I transcribe spells that Alia has, or are they not? They're not books or anything, right? So I need to find actual spell scrolls or books. I am unfamiliar with how transcribing works. I do apologize.
Yeah, we'll figure all that stuff out the next time we play. And in fact, I'll get together with you this week and we'll discuss that. Okay. But I'm going to go ahead and call into the session here. I'm still not 100%. Those of you that did, and until next time, be kind to each other. We're all in this together. Thank you, and say good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
But has no